Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our house. I'm just amazed at everybody that's here tonight. I'm just so humbled. I'm just so honored to have you here at our house. I just want to tell you a little bit about the theme this year first before I get started. I'm not going to talk too long, but this year, as one of the duties of the president, you get to pick the theme, the Grand Marshal. The reason we picked music was because of the fact the melody of life is because music is universal, and it brings people together. It calms you, it soothes you, it makes you rekindle memories of high school, college, junior high. And it just brings us all together. And that's what I look at this year as something as far as our community is that we've all come together. And I'm just honored to be here to do that.
Hi, my name's Erica. I'm Gerald's daughter, and I can't think of a better person to call my dad. I love you and I appreciate you. I'm just so blessed to be your daughter and to watch you lead with grace and strength and dignity. Again, I cannot think of a better person, a more inspirational or important person in my life for so many reasons. I love you and I am just really proud of you.
Hello, I'm Trina Freeny, Gerald Freeny's wife. Congratulations, Gerald. It's been a long journey, but I'm very proud of you. This is an exciting year. We're looking forward to going down the parade route on January 1st and having a great time. Congratulations again. Love you.
Hi, this is Alan Shea, and we're here today at a great event, so stay with us. We're here with our mayor, and we just want you to share with us, what does a moment like this mean for Pasadena and for someone like Gerald to come forth and lead on January 1st?
Oh, I think it's a great thing for Pasadena. I mean, Pasadena has always prided itself in terms of diversity. We take it seriously. We sometimes fall short. But when we have Gerald elevated to the position of being president of the Tournament of Roses, which is one of our sort of old line traditional organizations that many people identify with Pasadena, I think it's a great thing for the community.
Wow. Well, you know, through your great leadership this year and a new start with 2019 coming in, what kind of parade should we have this year?
The parade?
Yes.
Well, we don't have a lot to do with the parade. We're happy to have the Tournament of Roses maintain authority for that. We just try to be supportive and keep it safe. But we meet with the tournament people all the time. And I'll tell you, the great thing about the parade itself is fantastic, but what's really amazing to me is what it represents in terms of the volunteers that put it together.
Right.
I mean, those people they will devote, like Gerald, I mean, people devote 30 years or more of their lives to a wonderful volunteer activity that really is intended just to bring people joy. And I think that's why they've become such a hallmark in terms of their role in the city of Pasadena.
Wow. Well, we certainly thank you for the interview, Mayor, and look forward to a great New Year's Eve Day parade.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, we're here with our great assemblyman here, Mr. Chris Holden, and he's going to give us a in-depth story on the Tournament of Roses because he's from Pasadena. He knows Gerald. We all grew up together. What does a moment in history like this mean for us?
Well, you know, when you think about Pasadena, you think about growing to school together and seeing someone who's homegrown not only rise to the level of president of such a world-renowned association like the Tournament of Roses, but be the first to represent and to be the first African American in the history, over 100-year history of this fine institution. We're all proud of Gerald, but we're also proud of the fact that Pasadena has over the years developed the capacity to represent and recognize the diversity that is Pasadena. And so I couldn't be more proud of his accomplishments, his perseverance. This kind of thing doesn't just happen. You have to really be in there and do the hard work when nobody's watching, doing shifts over the years that over in the middle of the night, jobs that not many would want to take, but in this organization, to make your way to the top, you have to take them. And now he sits at the very top of the pyramid. So we're just proud of him and looking forward to a great parade next year.
Absolutely. We certainly thank you for being a civil servant here in Pasadena for all of the years, because you've stacked up quite a few years,
been a while.
and keeping the door open for younger people to see that everything is possible. So we want to thank you, and thank you for opening the door to the election process for our at-large election for mayor here in Pasadena. So we want to thank you for that.
My pleasure.
All right.
Always
Thank
good
you,
to see
sir.
Take care.
Thank you, Chris.
First of all, if we talk about motivation, I had a lot of mentors.
I'm Rodney D. Wallace, Lieutenant, Pasadena Police Department, retired, and I'm also the parliamentarian for the San Gabriel Valley chapter of Noble. Gerald, you are our president for the San Gabriel Valley chapter of Noble, and now you have been installed as the first African-American president for the Tournament of Roses. It's a success not only for you, but also for the tournament. And I know the journey you went on. So I also applaud you for being successful in your journey. Again, congratulations.
Greetings. I'm Steve Mermel, City Manager of the City of Pasadena, and I'm happy to congratulate Gerald Freeny on his presidency of the Tournament of Roses Association. The city and the association have built a strong working relationship over many years, and Gerald's presidency promises even greater collaboration. I congratulate him and his family. I wish him all the best and look forward to seeing him in this year's parade.
I'm here with a person who inspired me way back because I went to school with your sister. Oh, Terry.
Yes,
Yeah. You inspired us to both go to law school and all the great things.
Oh, I'm sure I'm not the only one, but I take credit for it.
You are, because we didn't have a lot of mentors when we were growing up. And just to share with viewers, this gentleman here paved the road for us to believe that education will get us through. And your sister and I were friends from college, and we both went to law school, and we've been out there showcasing how history should be made due to people like yourself. So why don't you share with the viewers your full name and what a day like this means for you and for Pasadena.
Thank you so much. My name is Michael Anderson Lawson. I'm the president and CEO of the Los Angeles Urban League, and I am proud, so proud to be here to honor this great man on this great achievement, to congratulate the Pasadena Tournament of Roses for making this choice. I know it's a long road, and I know that he took the long road, and he followed all the path that was laid out for him, and did everything necessary so that he could not be denied. And we are so proud of him, so very proud, as I am of you.
Well, thank you. And I think what this brings together is community. So we just want to thank you. We want to let the viewers know how important community is in this community reception and recognition of Gerald.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the invitation. I'm looking forward to a wonderful, wonderful, outstanding Tournament of Roses parade on January 1, 2019. This will be just exciting for all of us.
Absolutely. So we look forward to all the excitement and the contributions that will come from your organization as of January 1st.
We will be there.
All
Absolutely.
Right. Thank you
so much.
Hi, we have one of our astute guests here, and I'm going to let you hear his name, who he is, and why does this event mean so much to you?
Well, Gerald and I have been friends for many, many, many years. We both joined the Tournament of Roses together way back, and we've been friends, and Trina and Erica, I mean, we're like family.
Right.
And, you know, he's such what a fighter and just a great man. He really is.
Right. And why don't you, Corky, share with the viewers, really, if anybody deserves to be the representative of the Tournament of Roses at this time and point, who and why? Give them some insight, because you have a long history with Gerald, as we both do, to make sure our community is served, especially with volunteerism and what the tournament has done to exemplify that.
Gerald represents, I mean, everybody in the tournament is so excited because he really represents the whole area. He's just a very special man, very, very intelligent, and just the nicest guy, and we've just had so many good times together.
Well, we'll certainly thank you and appreciate you stopping in and sharing some of that old memory, because you guys got a lot of history together.
Oh, we really do.
No,
in a lot of places together.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Well, well, well. I'm so excited. I can't even let you go.
I am excited. This is
Wow.
an amazing, amazing time in history.
Not only is it an amazing time in history, and I'm going to have to put this for our record, folks, I'm standing next to my cousin, and we came to Pasadena together back in 63.
Right.
Right,
62.
Well, you were 62.
I was
You got
62.
here 6
Right,
months before we
right,
did,
right,
but
right.
we came in 63
Right.
and lived in one house together.
Exactly.
3 families.
Exactly.
Actually, it was 4. It was 4
Yeah.
of us, right?
Right, right.
And my cousin here led the way to make sure we were all educated, because you became the first of our family, to indoctrinate us with community, and to indoctrinate us to the civil engagement that is so vital to our society today.
Exactly.
Why don't you share with them who you are and the role you play, because I'm getting chill bumps just standing here, because this is really what the essence of community is about. So why don't you give them some input and then let them know how important this historic moment is for not only our community but for us as people to be documented.
Right. So we came from Jackson, Mississippi in '62, and to come out of the segregated South and to then be thrown into the diversity that California is, and to learn how to thrive and navigate the systems were really important. And so I'm delighted today to be representing Citrus College, where I sit as a trustee and as the first person of color and on the board at Citrus College, elected in 2013. So I'm delighted, and this is a historic moment for our community.
And last but not least, before I let you go, because I got all these chill bumps, your father just mentored us. And I miss him so, to make sure that we continue to contribute to our community with awareness and what this particular event means to Pasadena. So why don't you share with the viewers what we used to do as kids to watch the Tournament of Roses parade and to see Gerald Freeny become the first African American president for the tournament.
Right,
so
right.
I'm gonna let you have that moment.
We did not go to the parade. We watched it, but more importantly, we parked cars in our front yard. That's how the parade really sort of came alive for us in our community. So this is truly a historic event. I'm excited to be a part of it.
Well, I am so glad to see my cousin. Thank you. And all the contribution and the influence. And we hope you viewers see it's not just one person benefit, we all benefit from being a part of this great community.
Exactly.
So thank you so much.
Back in 1993-94, I was able to become one of the first at-large members on the executive committee. So I got to know the leadership, and I was able to learn about the association. And so I saw what was entailed and what it would take. And it has taken a while, but you have to learn this organization to be able to be the president and chairman of the board.
Congress Judy Chu, why don't you share with the viewers, what does this day mean for you to be participating in this event, and what does it mean for someone like Gerald to be our first president of the Tournament of Roses this New Year's Day?
Well, you know, it took 123 years to get to this point. Can you imagine that the Tournament of Roses did not have somebody of color as the president? And now we finally have Gerald Freeny in this position. It is such a historic day and year that it is worthy of tremendous celebration. And let me tell you, it's not easy. This whole thing was not easy. It took a lot of effort, and besides that, I came to understand that it takes so many years of volunteerism to even get to this point. You have to spend 20 to 25 years of volunteerism on various committees to even be eligible for the executive committee, and then even when you're on the executive committee, it takes 7 years to become president. But Gerald Freeny did all that.
Right. So why don't you share with the viewers, because you have a impeccable leadership record. I mean, I remember when you were county recorder.
I was on the Board of Equalization.
Board of Equalization, because I was actually part of your election campaign back in 2011. Right. So we campaigned hard for you to make sure you won, and then you ended up getting Pasadena as your area.
Yes, that's right.
Right. So why don't you share with the viewers how this evolution of leadership has come into play since you've seen all this history being made, since you've been involved with civic engagement and the historic moments in the last certainly 10 years.
Well, I am here because our government has finally opened itself up to diverse voices. And in fact, I only got my congressional seat because Hilda Solis was selected by President Obama to be his Secretary of Labor. She was the first Latina ever to be in a cabinet. I got elected, and I ended up being the first Chinese American woman elected to Congress in history.
Correct.
So yes, our government is more diverse, and actually because of all these elections of people of color, now our Democratic caucus in Congress has a majority of people of color.
Wow. So why don't you share with the viewers, since we're going down this road, how important is their voice to be heard and for them to exercise their ability to vote, especially with this midterm election coming up?
I believe that decisions are made best in America when the people making the decisions reflect the diversity of America. Then you can have the best made decisions with all the experiences that are part of America put into that decision. And that's why it is so important to make sure that those who are having a seat at the table look like America.
And that is such an important point to stop, and I'd love to shake your hand on that, because we appreciate you being here and celebrating with the community and being the representative of the Pasadena, city of Pasadena, as our Congresswoman.
Thank you so much.
All right, we're here with the chief, our chief of the fire department here in Pasadena. We just get excited about this gentleman because he's brought great leadership. And the time you've been here, what is it? We're going on 3 years now, or 4? 4
years.
Wow, is it flying?
Yes, it does.
Wow. Well, it gets me excited because your outreach for the community, and you've adjusted to the Pasadena a community great. Why don't you share with the viewers, what does this mean to see Gerald evolve as our new president, and what we should expect on January 1st?
You know, this means the world, you know, especially to the young boys and girls that are coming up in the city of Pasadena, just to see someone achieve yet another milestone that no one else has ever achieved. And so it's just very special to be a part of it. You know, there's times where you think, wow, this is actually the first time. And yes, it is the first time. And we're going to celebrate that. We're going to learn from what he did to get to where he is now, and also just do as much as we can to make sure that more young men and women can come behind him.
Absolutely. And what makes this so beautiful is the collection of the community coming together and acknowledging Gerald, and then seeing great leaders like yourself and the city attorney and the congresswoman, all these phenomenal people here that represents community. So in closing, what would you share with the viewers? What should we be prepared for on January 1st?
Well, on January 1st, you should be ready and know that the police and the fire department are going to be there to make sure that you have the safest January 1st that you could ever have. And you should also know that you're coming to a city that has a lot of history, a lot of great people throughout its fabric, and we're going to be there again just to celebrate and to welcome all the visitors to the city of Pasadena to have a great time.
Well, we certainly thank you, sir, and we certainly are glad that you're here to bring in this new year with great leadership and a great example for what our city can do for everybody.
Thank you very much. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you.
Congratulations, Gerald. The Rose Bowl Stadium's proud of you, and Pasadena's proud of you. Can't wait to January 1st, see you down at the stadium and flip the coin to get the Rose Bowl game off and on its way.
My name is Cheryl Moody. I'm a commander with the Pasadena Police Department. Hey, Gerald, I want to say congratulations on you being the first African-American president for a Tournament of Roses. I know you take this responsibility to heart as you took the responsibility of being our chapter president for the San Gabriel Valley chapter of Noble. Wishing you all the best, congratulations, and I look forward to seeing you afterwards.
My name is Janet Lee. I'm the president of OCA Greater Los Angeles. On behalf of OCA Greater Los Angeles, I'd like to congratulate you for all your hard work and contributions to the community. You are truly an inspiration to us.
The leadership that you have displayed over the years has been amazing. You have done an awesome job been an example of what it means to be committed to your community and committed to service. And I thank you for everything that you have done, and I thank you for providing the guidance and the direction for me as well as others. So I wish you well on your presidency for 2019.
So my name is Berlinda Brown, and I am a board member at Pasadena City College. I am just so proud to see our first African American president of the Tournament of Roses.
And you have to put your time in.
Yes.
This is not something that you can just come in overnight and learn. It's something that you have to learn by being involved and having people mentor you and taking the time with you to expose you and give you experiences. So that's something that we all go through as becoming presidents of this great organization.
Hi, we're back with another guest, and we just want to thank you so much for extending this great opportunity for us to host this event here for the community to have such a great reception. So why don't you share with the viewers your name and how did you get reeled into this event, and what does this mean to you?
Okay, my name is Mark Garmis. I'm chairman of the board of East Central Credit Union. I've been involved in the credit union movement as a volunteer for the past 30 years. I practice law here in Pasadena, and I always say that my law practice may be what puts food on the table, but being involved in the credit union movement is what puts food into my heart. I'm really proud of the group that I work with, and we're certainly feel very fortunate for being given the opportunity today to co-host this event.
Wow. So why don't you do this for me? Because a lot of the viewers don't understand the power of community in the credit union. Why don't you share that relationship? Because it's real important for them to understand, not only from a institutional with the credit union, but also the community outreach that you're doing in this respect. So share it with the viewers.
Yes, we've been intimately involved with Pasadena for the past, actually our entire existence of 75 years. Gerald Freeny clearly has demonstrated in the last 30 years, a sense of community, a sense of pride in this community, and never being afraid to volunteer his time. When called upon, he's always there to help out. And we view our credit union in the same way. We support all the activities in this city. We think it's a great city. It's not just a great city on New Year's Day. It's a great city 365 days a year, and we are certainly proud to be a member of the city.
Wow, well, we certainly thank you, and again, being the gracious host of this event, because great facility, and it works out well to really showcase how community comes together.
We certainly appreciate the opportunity.
Well, thank you.
Thank
We
you very
appreciate
much.
it. Congresswoman here, why don't you share with us what this event means to you, and what should January 1st represent from Pasadena to the world?
Well, let me tell you, first of all, I was so pleased I was invited to participate in this historic occasion, and it is truly historic. A lot of people fought for a long time to create diversity in the Tournament of Roses, and a lot of people had to protest. And you know, I've said over and over again that the Constitution guarantees us the right to protest, and it certainly does help to move things forward. And so I'm here to honor President Freeny, and to say to him, despite the fact that you can't be here today, we're all pulling for you, and we know that you're going to come back and you're going to represent. And so I'm very proud that the Tournament of Roses has seen the value in diversity, and has opened up the opportunity for us to show that there is talent, and those who are willing to give of their time and their service, like Mr. Freeny, and he certainly deserved this honor. And so this sends a signal around the world, really, but particularly in this country, how important diversity is, and how everybody can take a lesson from what has happened here in Pasadena and ensure that we open up opportunities for diversity throughout all of government, the private sector, and show that America will lead the way in the world to say that all people are important, deserve a chance to participate and to lead. Thank you, Pasadena. Thank you, President Freeny. We are all with you, and we look forward to leading Pasadena and the whole area.
And why don't you share, before I let you go, what does this mean for Southern California, for a local young man who's now going to make a historic mark for the nation and certainly our community here in the greater Los Angeles area.
One of the things that's most important about this kind of achievement is it opens up hope and opportunity for young people. Young people can aspire to do the same kind of thing. If they don't see anybody that looks like them, they'll never aspire to be in these kinds of positions. And so I'm just very pleased that even here today, as the community celebrates, we have young men and women who are here who are looking at what has happened here with this appointment, and they're saying, you know, I'd like to do that, or I'd like to do something like that. So this is an important moment, again, not only in Pasadena, but throughout the whole country.
Wow. And I would say, viewers, through the kind of leadership we've seen, not only with our Congresswoman here, but with Gerald Freeny, hopefully the younger generation really see their commitment for their generation and be prepared for that, and certainly get out there and vote.
Well, I am so very hopeful, and I'm inspired by what I'm seeing. The millennials are in now, and they are paying attention, and they are going to vote. They are changing our societies in many ways. As a matter of fact, they're even bringing us a new language. When you hear me say stay woke, I got that from the millennials.
Well, we certainly appreciate that.
All right.
Thank you so much,
You're
Congresswoman.
so welcome.
Thank you. You are right next door.
We are
next
right
door.
next door to Pasadena.
Next door. So why don't you share with the viewers your name and really your organization?
I'm Jonathan Beach, and I'm the president of Occidental College.
Wow. So why don't you share with them what does an event and a historic moment like this mean to you, and being a neighbor to Pasadena, what does it do for our community at large?
This is a hugely important event. Occidental has been was part of the Rose Parade and had floats for many different years, and we've been faithful attendees, and we're very, very proud of this occasion.
Wow. Well, we certainly appreciate you giving us a quick interview because it's been crazy, and we love the fact that Occidental is next to Pasadena.
Good. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Hi, we're here with Dr. Bell from PCC, and we want to thank you so much for making it today.
It is my pleasure.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having me.
So why don't you share with the viewers, what does this moment in time means for you to see this event materialize from the Tournament of Roses?
Well, this event is particularly significant for me. Working at Pasadena City College, being the college's only African American administrator, particularly the senior administrator as the senior vice president. It's profound. It really is. And Tournament of Roses has a long historic history. We all know that. But to have an African American leading the event this year, it's very significant. Not only for me personally, but I think for our institution, Pasadena City College, and what it means for all of our students, particularly African American students.
Wow. Well, why don't you share with us a little bit more the impact, especially with the enrollment, with the history of PCC, and how that just really combined with what it can do with the relationship with the Tournament of Roses, and the fact that our president, I believe he attended PCC there for a minute.
I believe he did. One of the things that I think most people recognize about Pasadena City College, whether you're in Pasadena or not, we have a name, and that name is associated with the Tournament of Roses. I have friends from across the country who may not know much about PCC, but you know about Pasadena, they know about the Tournament of Roses. And so for us, it's particularly important because when we look at our African American students, when we look at our enrollment, when we look at recruiting students in, it's valuable to have them have something that they can relate to, because 67% of our student body come to us from outside the city of Pasadena. So it's very important for us as we aggressively recruit African American students to get them to come to PCC and to stay at PCC. One of the things we need to do is have a point of recognition. The Tournament of Roses is a grounding point for us. It's we both carry the same name, Pasadena City College, Pasadena Tournament of Roses.
Wow. And last but not least, before I let you go, why don't you share with the viewers really the role that Pasadena City College plays for an institution here in Pasadena, and how the outreach has been growing from a new location over at John Muir to a East Satellite, and also one in Rosemead.
Well, yeah, we are growing. I mean, I've had the very good fortune to be the person who's headed up most of that outreach. As you just mentioned, we're opening a new center in the Northwest on John Muir High School campus. In fact, it just opened 2 weeks ago, the beginning of our fall semester. We are very proud of that. We're looking forward to what that's going to mean for the community and opportunities, educational opportunities, not only for our youth, but for our adults in the area. As well as our Rosemead site, which we have open, and my office happens to be on our Community Education Center on Foothill Boulevard. So we have 3 what we call off-site campuses. I think it's particularly important to realize that we have to extend our educational opportunities at PCC to students beyond what is just offered on our main campus on Colorado Boulevard. That's the purpose of this, that's the focus of this, and again, I'm very fortunate to be the person who heads up that activities for the college.
We certainly appreciate you giving us some time to give us this interview, and certainly for the viewers to see the importance of community, because the essence of what today's reception is all about is the community reception for such an event here in Pasadena. And viewers, we hope that you can appreciate why the community is really supporting this historic moment in time, and all the various institutions within our city is supporting that vision. So we thank you for joining us, and we certainly thank you, Dr. Bell, and we certainly look forward to all the greatness that's going to come out of PCC this year.
It's been a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much. And community, welcome. And please come by Pasadena City College, see what we have to offer. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Hi, God, I am so glad to see you here today.
Thank you for
having me. Why don't you share with the viewers your name and who you represent and why this day is so important?
Sure, wonderful. So my name is Jennifer Childress, and I'm the Los Angeles Area Director for the United Negro College Fund, UNCF. And so we are so excited to represent UNCF here and just to celebrate this historic moment for our community. I mean, especially in this moment, we are really excited to be here, to support, and to let the community know what we're doing here.
Wow. Well, since you work for such a proud fund that helps to elevate the awareness, how important is these type of outreach programs for community and for us nationwide to let people know how active we are to make sure the outreach is there and the communication of community is a part of this experience?
Yeah, I mean, that's so incredibly important. And UNCF is going to be celebrating our 75th anniversary in 2019, if you can believe it. And so we've been working in communities for the better part of a century. So at UNCF, we know how important it is to get the word out. We know how important it is to make sure that the community outside of our little network sees what members of our community are doing. Because I think that oftentimes we're doing incredible things, but we keep it quiet. And now is the time really to share the good news and the good work.
Well, last but not least, before I let you go, why don't you share with the viewers really what commitment your organization has done for the advancement of education for blacks and minorities. And with this type of event that will be shown nationwide, worldwide, how powerful will this be?
Well, it's incredibly powerful. And UNCF has obviously had a national presence, but what we don't often realize here in Southern California, where we're not so close to historically black colleges, is that a huge percentage of our local students go to historically black colleges, and a lot of times they come back here and they're doing incredible work, and as they are successful, so is California, so is Pasadena, so is the nation. And events like this, outreaches like this, opportunities like this remind people who may have forgotten of the excellence of our community.
Well, we certainly appreciate you giving us time and giving us this interview. And viewers, remember how important this and overall participation is for community. So we thank you for joining us. Hi, we're back with another incredible guest who have served the greater Los Angeles in such an incredible role. I'm going to let him share his name and share with the viewers, what does this historic moment mean to you?
I'm Assembly Member Reginald Byron Jones Sawyer Sr. I represent South Los Angeles in the 59th Assembly District, and as a descendant of one of the Little Rock Nine, when the 9 kids integrated Central High School in 1957, anytime an African American moves up to a position of prestige, and I will say to be in charge of the Tournament of Roses is no easy task. And what this brother had to go through to move up to this is phenomenal. I don't know if I could have done it, and I've run for office several times, but the amount of dedication that you have to put into this is unbelievable. And not only should we commend him for being the first African American. We should just commend him for his endurance to be able to get through this, to get this ultimate honor.
Well, you know, and the beautiful thing that you and I have the luxury of sharing with Gerald is not only he's our fraternity brother, and not only did we all grow up together some 30 plus years ago, but seeing the impact it has on community. Why don't you share with the viewers, before we let you go, really what this should do for our community and future generations to come?
So when I talk to young people about sacrifice and about putting yourself above everybody else, that you shouldn't do that, and completing a goal, that even when you have a setback, that you continue to strive for that. I can't make young people understand how important it is that when you fail, that you get back up. I'm pretty sure if we talk to Gerald about the number of years, the number of times that he failed to get to this honor, I think we would be flabbergasted by it.
Either that or in tears.
In tears, yes.
Right. And he is a great guy. He's humble. So we just love that community has supported him and come out on a day like today, and we're glad that you're here. And certainly as one of my frat brothers who definitely brought me into the frat, I love you for that, and Gerald the same.
Thank you.
We're back with Mr. Danny Bakewell Sr.
That's right.
And here is a man who is really about community. And why don't you share with the viewers your history with the tournament and what contributions were made to bring about this day?
Well, first of all, I want to thank all these great people for being here today to celebrate the fact that we're going to have the first African American president of the Tournament of Roses. When we go back, I think it's almost 20 years now, we recognize that there would never be a black president almost in our lifetime if we would leave it to the tournament to identify, to allow the system to produce a black president. The system had to radically be changed, and we had conversations with them, and of course they said, well, you got to get in the system and you matriculate and what have you. And to make a long story short, I demanded that they have an African American on the executive committee now. And that just sparked all kinds of debate, if you will. And the reality was that would overturn everything the Tournament of Roses was all about. But the Tournament of Roses wasn't about us. It was almost like a system of emperors watching our young men in the arena like they were gladiators, just fighting for the pleasure of those watching. 99% of the young men playing football were black, and 100% of the people sitting in the stands, the people who were making all the decisions, people who were reaping all the economic benefits, were white. It came from a long tradition in Pasadena, and it needed to be broken. Myself, I rallied, of course, all the resources and all of the community supporters of the Brotherhood Crusade. Jimmy Morris, the Altadena NAACP, the Pasadena NAACP, many of the people on the city council were very supportive. Rick Cole, who was being the mayor that year, was going to ride in the parade. So we had a lot of support. Joe had the black newspaper in Pasadena. The black press was, front and center in terms of making sure we got the press that we needed. And of course, we demonstrated hard. I mean, one day I rented a truck, and we drove the truck right in front of the Tournament of Roses on the day that they were declaring that year's queen. And when they did that, suddenly the key just disappeared and the truck stopped, right? And traffic was jammed up for miles. And of course, that brought a lot of attention, and we were able to make our point to thousands of people all over the Pasadena and all over the county. Then we also got national recognition at that time. Subsequent to that, we had additional protests. We had a vigil at the Tournament of Roses one night where we must have had 1,000 people out there with candles, just really, really bringing forth the fact that there had to be some change in the Tournament of Roses. And all of those things, there was also a guy on the tournament, his name was Dan Tyler, a football player, used to be with the Rams for years. and he was with the tournament, and he broke with them and supported our effort to have an African American on the executive committee. And we're forever thankful to him for that. He's passed on now, but a lot of people deserve a lot of credit. Miss Holloway, and you name it. But Jimmy Morris was at the forefront of being a ardent supporter of mine, and I'm appreciative of him to this day. This was a monumental effort. It was successful, and we also eventually, I think, we changed the Tournament of Roses for the better.
Right, and before I let you go, because I think you would be an individual who can contribute to the commitment of civic engagement for Pasadena and the greater community, because not only did you feed a process back in 1992-93 to get an executive member on the board, but what did that do for our country as a whole, for people to raise their awareness that through being civically active, you can bring about change?
Well, I think whenever you protest, whenever you are morally sound in terms of the efforts that you're dealing with, I think it raises people's awareness, it raises their consciousness, and when you can be successful, people believe that there is a real benefit to civic engagement, and they then become empowered to participate in it themselves and sometimes to initiate it, and that's what we need more of.
Well, we certainly thank leaders like yourself. We certainly thank the roles that you've paved, because had you not taken the lead role, we would still be pushing forward with a lot of challenges. But we've opened the doors not only with great leaders like Gerald Freeny, but through what you've done from President Obama to Congresswoman Maxine Waters getting elected, all these different things that you've been involved with. That's from your strategic and your leadership in coming out of Pasadena. We want to thank you.
Well, I appreciate it, but it's a collective effort. It's about we, not me.
Okay.
So,
well, we thank you, because we need your leadership.
Thank you.
Definitely. Thank
Peace.
you. We are so proud to be in the presence of this incredible woman. I'm going to let her introduce herself and why. So why don't you share your name?
I'm Soraya Coley. I'm president of Cal Poly Pomona. And this is such a momentous occasion because, as many of your listeners may know, every year Cal Poly Pomona and Cal Poly San Luis Obispo have the only student-built float in the Rose Parade. And so this is even more important to me, celebrating this great occasion, and it will be a testament to our students and to the community, and so I'm just so pleased to be here to congratulate him.
Well, and not only that, and I think she's been a little modest, because Cal Poly plays such an important role in the development of our engineers and technology that Cal Poly hosts an incredible event every year that I get excited about. And why don't you share with them how it expands into our community here in Pasadena?
Well, in fact, there are just so many events and activities. As you know, our College of Engineering is the largest college.
And it produces some of the most phenomenal engineers as well as students, because they play a major role. They played a vital role in refurbishing of Old Town Pasadena. They play a major role in our development of our science here. And a lot of people really don't know until these kind of events pull our community together. So why don't you share with them, what does this historic moment means for Cal Poly on January 1st of this upcoming new year?
Well, every year we are just thrilled, and there's nothing like seeing that float turn the corner and come around the corner, and you will see 200 of us from San Luis Obispo and Cal Poly Pomona jump up and cheer. And what will be even more special is who's going to be president of the 2019 Tournament of Roses. And so that is especially important and significant for me.
Wow, well, we want to thank you so much for being here. And you know, I get excited just being around you because of all of the work you do. So we thank you.
Thank you.
And look forward to seeing Cal Poly on January 1st.
Look for us January 1. Thank
Right,
you.
thank you.
Speak to young men and women in the schools a lot with regards to being successful. I also volunteer with my fraternity.
We're back with another great esteemed guest that we have that has history with Pasadena, history with Gerald, and history with the tournament.
Absolutely.
Why don't you share your name and what does a day like this mean in this year's Tournament of Roses?
My name is Danny Bakewell Jr., and I am the executive editor of the Los Angeles Sentinel newspaper. And as many people know, my father, Danny Bakewell Sr., was one of the people who led the charge for the Tournament of Roses to diversify about 30 years ago. So to see Gerald Freeny get an opportunity to ascend to the presidency really is a meaningful moment and really an honor. And I'm so proud of him. Gerald is a friend. He's my fraternity brother from Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, as you are. And it's just really an honor. And not only do I applaud Gerald, but I also applaud the Tournament of Roses. And it is because there were people of open minds and willing to look at themselves and embrace change that we brought this day forward. So it's really an honor and a salute not only to Gerald, but also to the Tournament of Roses.
Well, we certainly appreciate you giving us this interview, sir.
Thank you,
and
brother.
you know we look forward to a great parade on
Absolutely.
January 1st. So thank you so much.
See you January 1st, 2019.
Hi, we have one of our premier and incredible guests with us because she was our first. And I want her to share her name and her history and why this historic moment means so much to you and to Pasadena and certainly the Tournament of Roses.
Well, it's certainly been a long time coming. I'm Christina Smith. I was the first African-American Rose Queen in 1985. So I kind of kicked that door open a few years before Gerald got to walk through it. And it's just about time.
And so why don't you share the historic importance of this moment and really just growing up in a community like this and now with the tournament supporting Gerald's presidency, and what can we expect on New Year's Day?
Well, you can expect the sun to shine. It never rains on New Year's Day. That's just a given. And, you know, Gerald serving as president is a reflection of the community at large. And so it's nice to have a president that brings that cultural element to the table.
Right. And not only a cultural element, but a man with his dignity and humility that has really...
who's been a volunteer with the tournament for a long time, and it's great that they have him representing the Tournament of Roses.
Absolutely. So we want to thank Ms. Smith here for giving us the time and being as beautiful as usual to represent Pasadena, the tournament, and what this day is.
I am of you having your own show.
Well, thank you. Well, we try and keep it real around here. Hi, we're back with another guest and a man who has left an incredible imprint here in Pasadena about leadership and keeping us abreast of our civic engagement. Why don't you share with the viewers your name and what an event like this mean to you?
Well, my name is Steve Bradford, and I'm a senator from the 35th Senate District from the other Dena, representing Gardena, but I'm always well connected with this community. And what this means, being the president of the Rose Parade, the first African American in over 100 years, I mean, it's surprising. In 2018, we still have first, but it shows you the need for greater diversity and inclusion, and this is what this represents for the African American community.
And why don't you share with the viewers, really, from a historic standpoint, as of January 1st, what kind of impact should we really expect?
I mean, I don't know what the impact we should be, but it should be one of pride, one of accomplishment, of one also of saying what took so long. You know, when you think about the thousands of young African Americans who play in that Rose Bowl every year, the probably millions of African Americans who watched it with the tie with Jackie Robinson here in this community, we would say, why did it take so long? So I hope it's a sense of pride and accomplishment and encouragement that there's still much to be done and much to be accomplished.
Wow. Well, we certainly thank you for your time in the interview and your service.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Esteemed City Attorney, why don't you share with us what this moment in history means, especially for Pasadena?
Certainly. It is quite an occasion. My name is Michelle Bill Bonarise, and I'm the City Attorney, City Prosecutor for the City of Pasadena. And I happen to have been the first African American City Attorney for the city 20 years ago. And it's amazing how long it has taken the tournament to reach a point where its president is an African American. It's a day of celebration of Pasadena's diversity, and we will continue in that path as we continue to make first. I appreciate all that the tournament has done because they've done a lot for our community. So that's greatly appreciated, and I'm looking forward to 2019 and beyond.
Absolutely. And before we let her go, this woman has done so much for our community and her family. Oh my God, your family's everywhere, to make sure community is extended. Why don't you share with the viewers what should we expect on January 1st?
Oh, January 1st is always a blast, and I'm like a cheerleader up there in the stands at the parade, cheering on those who are participating. So I'm looking forward to it. I know the weather's going to be perfect, and their theme is the melody of life. So we all have a role in the melody of life, so let's play it.
Absolutely, and we thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Take care.
Wow, we were able to catch the man of the hour. I call him Mr. Ron Carter. Why don't you share with the viewers, what does an event like this mean, and certainly what should we expect on January 1st?
Oh man, January 1st is going to be a great celebration because of Gerald and who he is, all the stuff he's done in the community, how he's paid his way and worked hard, and now he's at the top of the food chain, so to speak, being the 2019 president of the Tournament of Roses. And so we hope the community come out and celebrate Gerald. Today's event, which Lena Kennedy and I co-chaired, was just the beginning. We are excited today that so many people showed up. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
Thank you for seeing that this is an important day, and that we all can celebrate Gerald and everything that he's done in this community. We're happy to be a part of it. I'm happy to be a part of it.
Well, we thank you so much for being such a civically engaged individual in the community, and we hope that the viewers see how important it is to pick up the lead and make sure we're actively involved with the community.
Yes, it definitely is. You know, Pasadena is a community. I think we rank either number 1 or 2 in terms of nonprofit organizations in the country. So there's something for everyone. If you're at home and you don't have anything to do, just look in the Pasadena directory and you will find something that suits you because to help this community grow.
Well, we certainly thank you for your commitment because we know how much you've been putting in the last 4 or 5 years.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay.
We're back, and we have one of the most vital women that I have come to know here with us today, and I'm going to let her share her name, and then we're going to get excited because this woman is the woman of all women. Why don't you share your name?
Well, I'm former Councilwoman Jan Perry. I currently serve as the General Manager of the Economic and Workforce Development Department for the City of Los Angeles. And I'm excited because history's been made here today in Pasadena, and we're celebrating it.
Right. And not only history has been made here today, and it's going to be made in Pasadena, but through the leadership that you've displayed, and why don't you give a little bit of it to the viewers, of your commitment and your civic engagement that really help to elevate these kinds of moments for history.
Well, it seems like within the African American community, there are so many firsts, and I think it's important that we acknowledge them and we celebrate them and remind the younger generations. For myself, I was only the second African American woman to have ever been elected to the Los Angeles City Council, first African American woman to run for mayor of the city of Los Angeles. And so when Miss Kennedy, Lena Kennedy, told me about today and to become the president of the Tournament of Roses, the first time I knew I had to be here to celebrate this. This is a major milestone.
Well, it takes great leadership to continue to share with the young people what their generation is going to hold. And I'm just so glad that we have you as an example of that to bring forth individuals like Gerald to keep carrying that torch.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, we were just talking about Serena Williams and the impact that she has made and how she elegantly pushes forward for all women and women of color in particular. And so we all have to find our voice and use it.
We want to thank you so much for joining us today, Jane.
Thank you very much. See you outside.
Hello, my name is John Perez. I'm the interim chief of police for the Pasadena Police Department. It's an honor for me to be here today and to provide some remarks about the 2019 Tournament of Roses President, Gerald Freeny. For me especially, I look to his leadership, his insight and direction over the years. He provides such great strength in family, fortitude, and especially his courage is what I look up to him. And he has been fantastic for me in my life and my professional life as well. So I'm fortunate to know him, and we should all be very happy that he has chosen our community to be a part of and have this done here instead of somewhere else. So we thank you, Gerald, congratulations, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.
I'm Lynette West with Pasadena Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority. To my dear friend Gerald Freeny, congratulations on all of your life's achievements, and especially on becoming the president of the Tournament of Roses. Thank you for following in the footsteps of Jackie Robinson and many other firsts. You are one of the chosen ones.
Hello, my name is Ramon Miramontes. I'm the president of Pasadena's League of United Latin American Citizens. And Gerald, on behalf of our organization and in solidarity, we want to celebrate your chairmanship. And we want to tell you that we support you, we love you, and it was about time.
Hello, my name is Albert R. Shelton Jr. I'm a member of the Pasadena Alumni Chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity. Gerald, the Brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi are extremely proud of your achievement in your chosen field of human endeavor. Continue to do what you do, and hey, by the way, thanks for letting me wear your Kappa tie today. All right, my brother, Godspeed, God bless you. Yo.
I'm Chris Shahinian, the president of Armenian Community Coalition. This is a very exciting moment in our community. Gerald Freeny has become the first African-American president of the Tournament of Roses. We have come a long way. The tournament has made a good progress as far as diversity. Today, the community is united to celebrate Gerald Freeny's achievement, and I join with many leaders from our community to congratulate him.
Hey, this is Lester Spade, director, actor, producer. You see me on Transformers, My Wife and Kids, Norway, just to name a few. But right now, you see me in front of you. I want to congratulate Mr. Gerald Freeny for a huge accomplishment. It's going to be a great time. We're going to take this thing even further than the 130 years that they have it. So let's get ready for some more success. Congratulations.
Hello, Gerald. My name is Darlene Hampton, and I work for the city manager and the mayor in the city of Pasadena at City Hall. I look at you as a symbol to all of our African Americans who would like to achieve the goal that you have. Please continue to move up, and you have the best wishes for me.
There's two of them, Kappa Alpha Psi.
There you go.
And the Boule, the Sigma Gamma. And we mentor young men of color with regards to the rights and wrongs and how to be positive and how to learn once you get to college and you know, just giving them insight on life matters and mentor them, and whenever they're in school or college, wherever they are, they have access to us. So that way if they run into any situations or anything to that effect, they can contact us and we try to help them.
Hello, my name is Paul Amos. I'm a retired parole agent and a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. I initiated Gerald Freeny into our fraternity. I've known him for over 38 years. I'm so proud of his achievement becoming the first African-American president of the Tournament of Roses.
This year, I'm very excited to congratulate Gerald Freeny, the new president of the Tournament of Roses, and the first African-American to hold this role in the 130-year history of the tournament. Gerald is an outstanding public servant who has served on the Tournament of Roses Association since 1988. I can't imagine a better choice to lead this organization into its next chapter. Congratulations, Gerald. I'm excited to join you for the Melody of Life Parade with you as our leader, celebrating music as our universal language.
You have to reflect the community that you live in. You have to bring everybody's knowledge into it. And that's one thing I would say at the Tournament of Roses, with us being a big family, is that we all have diverse backgrounds. So we all bring a different perspective to the organization. And that helps, because I might have been exposed to something else that you might not have been exposed to. And we can all sit around the table and have a conversation and like, well, I never thought of that, and I never thought of that. And it just makes things better because you have a different perspective from each community. And that represents the world. You know, you have so many different diverse communities, and it just helps everyone to make it a better place to live, and it just makes it better for all of us.
Viewers, we are here with Lena Kennedy, a woman who reaps of Pasadena community. We are so thankful that you've brought everybody together for this celebration for Mr. Gerald Freeny to represent what the community of Pasadena is all about, especially on January 1, 2019. So why don't you share with the viewers, what does this mean to you to see this evolution take place here in your own backyard?
Well, we're delighted to be able to celebrate the Tournament of Roses along with their accomplishments in having Gerald Freeny as the first African American president of the Tournament of Roses. Oftentimes I think of in the 21st century, we're still celebrating a first. It will be wonderful when we get to the day that we're just celebrating to celebrate, but Gerald is more than deserving of this celebration and this honor, the good work that he does, but we're all striving to have a Pasadena that all of us could just continuously be thankful for, and pulling the community together is something that I'm always thrilled and delighted to do, because the community is the backbone of the city of Pasadena.
Well, we just want to close by saying we thank you so much for being such a community-oriented person and knowing how to organize to get everybody here to make sure that we acknowledge a great community.
Well, thank you, and we love our community, don't we?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
This is Alan Shea. Thank you for joining us on Our Society Show today here in Pasadena at the community reception for the 2019 Tournament of Roses President.